Welcome everyone to our webinar today. I'm Simona Bevenita from Hermitage Solutions. Let me remind you that Hermitage Solutions is a value-added distributor of security, infrastructure, and network solutions. Every month we organize webinars about the most relevant cybersecurity topics. And today we will be talking about a new approach to security data control. Our webinar topic is Get Cybersecurity Under Control with Time-Saving Security Insights by Devo. So we have three presenting guests from Devo: Pedro, Security Research Francisco, and Miguel, who is Product Manager. And let me remind you that Pedro is VP Alliance and Channels at Devo. We will introduce us to a time-saving solution from cybersecurity control. But before we start, let me remind you that every one of you is muted. But if you get some questions during the webinar, please write them straight to the chat box or directly to Hermitage Solutions email box, which is info@hermitage.lt, and we'll try to answer them all. Well, enjoy the webinar, and I'm giving a word to Pedro.
Thank you very much, Simona. Good morning to everybody, and thank you for joining us in this webinar where we are going to talk about cybersecurity and how we can ease the security management with a product that Devo is launching called Security Insights. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about the company and the foundations of our technology so that you can understand better. Devo was founded in 2011 as Logtrust. We have changed the name in the latest months. And Devo was founded by a bunch of people coming from the first digital bank in Spain, a bank called Bank Inter. And they were facing operational and security challenges every day, and they had not the right tools. They found they had not the right tools at that time, and so they founded Devo with a mission to build a technology that allow organizations, companies to to manage data, operational data, and security data in a single unified platform. Also worth saying that Devo is now backed by the world's largest software investor called Inside Venture Partner, a fund in New York that came about 1 year ago to Devo to help us develop in the US and the rest of the world. So talking about the challenges, this is the challenge we have every day in, I would say, every company. We have data coming from finance, from marketing, from business, from IT, security, research and development, from many different sources. And all this data normally is in silos. So we cannot analyze all this data in order to get insights. So this is what Devo is able to do. We can collect and all the operational and security data. We can enhance the data with data that we previously had at the company, and we can analyze in real times petabytes of information, comparing in real time what is just arriving to the platform with what was happening yesterday or last week or last month or last year. So we are able in that way to reduce operational cost and get security under control. And talking about security, which is the main topic today and which is one of the best use cases for us, because managing security in a company is about managing all data that is flowing through the company, flowing through the network, flowing through the air, flowing through the computers. So I'm going to, before starting talking about security insights, I'm going to talk to you about two success stories that we have. We are proud of them. First one is CaixaBank. CaixaBank is the third bank in Spain. and they had this challenge. They needed a unified security view of all the data coming from IT, from security, from business applications, etc. They wanted to do real-time threat detection. They wanted to perform analytics, visualization of historical data. The challenge they had is they are ingesting about 10 terabytes of new data every day. Some days is more, some days is less, but you can never predict what is going to happen in the business. But this is like the average of new information that they ingest every day. And they have today more than 5 petabytes of historical data stored in a Devo platform that they are able to analyze in real time. So in this case, we have integrated Devo with the rest of the let's say portfolio of security tools that such a complex company normally has, and the result has been that they have reduced licensing costs from of the other tools. They have reduced analysis times from hours to seconds, and they can now give information. They can now give access to non-technical users to the platform so that they can explore things in real time. Okay. Another very good use case is Panda. Panda Security is a software manufacturer. They build endpoint detection and response solutions for small, medium, and large businesses, and they had the same challenge. They needed to be able to gather data from thousands of endpoints of their customers in order to create advanced reporting and analytics solutions for them. Okay, and they had been for years trying to build a solution with other pieces, with Hadoop, with Hive, with Elastic, etc. And none of these solutions was really working. So in the end, they found Devo as a solution that allows them to do this analysis. They have already more than 2,000 customers in the platform. They have reduced the development cycle of the new features they want to develop to 30 days. They have doubled the customer satisfaction, and they are bringing to the market new compliance offerings and everything they think is interesting for the customers. So, but these two cases, these two success stories, in a certain way, are customized solutions. Okay, because we are in both of both customers, we are integrating Devo with other tools. Okay. But now we have come to the conclusion that we need to develop one solution that is built to address the security challenges. So Security Insights is a vertical application that runs on top of Devo platform and is designed to control and handle the security in a company network. As we have commented, it analyzes information coming from, in this case, from any firewall, from any web server, Active Directory, IDS, and several security solutions. But in order to start showing things, it only needs firewall logs. This is mandatory. This is like the primary source of information, and from firewall logs, we can start showing interesting things to any company. So Security Insights extracts, those insights from logs and fits the insights to dashboards and alerts that work automatically and show information in real time. We use about 30 public feeds and payment feeds, fraud feeds, to detect all the threats and to be able to analyze the IP and the traffic that is coming from the firewalls and be able to detect reputation and anonymous navigation, etc., etc. and we develop these dashboards and alarms without any configuration in the beginning, but as we will comment afterwards in the demo, we can customize the solution. We can customize the alarms to any user environment. We can add new alarms to the set that we have, and so that is a very good tool for system integrators, for integrators specialized in security, because they can run security for many customers in a customized way using this platform. Also worth saying that this is a multi-tenant platform, so we can run from the same platform. We can have thousands of customers, and this is a point that is very, very important. So it's perfect for MSSPs and also, of course, for individual customers. And I think this is a very quick introduction to the tool, to our application. But I'm going to pass the floor to our security analysts, who are going to do a demo of Security Insights now for you. We're going to run this demo from our
I need
platform.
I need you to open the mail to get the presentation I just sent to you. It's just the 3 slides
Okay.
that I need. Ahora déjala ya abierta.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Can you? Sí,
tienes que, porque es por aplicaciones, ¿no? Claro, tienes que... O sea, no, este es el navegador, sí, tienes que compartir solamente la aplicación navegador.
Alright guys, we are trying to share the navigator, this the browser. This is desktop, Google Chrome. Okay, thank you.
Now we see. Hi, this is Miguel Abollado. I'm the product manager for the Security Insights application and security. Following the presentation that I've done, Pedro, I only have to say 1 or 2 things before starting the demo. Is that this application is all on the platform Devo as vertical application, and it is very important for us that the 3 things. The first one is that it's based on tabs. There is only 1 application and a lot of tabs. The main tab is overview, the main types are overview and threads, and there are the secondary tabs, that is proxy, DNS, network, topology, firewall, web, IDS, assets, and so on. Okay, data sources must be transparent to the customer. What does it mean? That we are using only 3 tables. In this case, is 1 table for firewalls, another table for web, and then in the next version we will release in the following months also proxy and maybe auth and IDS. But what does it mean? That we are all the queries, all the requests in the application are on only these 2 tables. That if you have 1 kind of firewall or another firewall, for the application it is the same. So you can run Juniper and you can run Palo Alto or Cisco. It doesn't matter for the application. This is a very important thing because we want to be a generic application that it could be activated on each and on any domain, and the only condition for run is that we need firewall logs, any kind of firewall logs. If the firewall is integrated on Devo, that we have integrated already around 40 kind of firewalls or 20 kind of web servers. If the server is integrated, if the technology is integrated in Devo, it is automatically integrated also in Security Insights application. And the last thing is that there must be a generic application. For us, it is very, very important that only have to click on a button to activate it. This is the application structure. For the version, we have released until now 3 versions: the alpha version in February, beta version in May, and the production version in August. We are working on the next release for the next week, 1.1, and the next one in late December, I suppose. This is the thing I meant when we talk about union tables. We need mainly firewall table. This is only one table. This is a union table of all the technologies of firewall we have integrated in LogClass. The other one is web, that we have. This is a union table of all technologies of web. And in the future, we are doing the same in Proxiol. We are testing now. And okay, let's do the demo. No. Okay, the first thing, this is a vertical application that is running on the platform. We can talk, during the demo, we will talk about some things related to the platform, about aggregation, data sources, but the main thing is talking about the vertical application. So one of the things we talk is about, we only have to activate here in this application gallery, that is like a marketplace. We want it to be, the application to be here, and if commercially we allow the customer to activate the application, the customer only have to click here and automatically the application will be activated for the customer data. It is immediately activated, and to calculate all the data necessary to run the application, we need around 12-15 hours. In 15 hours, we have ready all the data available. The first step is overview. This is designed to offer a very quick and clearly information to the CEOs, CTOs, and so on. That is, how is your network working? It is okay, it is not okay, it is green, it is red, basic information. The first one, it is the threat level, the general threat level of your network. This widget responds to an algorithm that we are prepared with alerts and threats regarding to priorities and weights. We calculate the threat level for this customer in particular. This is for sure need to be customized for each customer. The next is the trends summary. That for us is very important. That it is important to see how is your network now, but it's important to compare with the last day or last week. we are talking in terms of threats about one threat. One thing is threats, the other is alerts, and the other is anonymous traffic. The main important thing, the main dashboard in our view is alerts. We have configured around 14 alerts, depending on firewall and web logs.
Okay, the idea is that we are creating more alerts every release. That we are just trying to create a rule set to show the customer some issues, and then the customer can configure this alert to turn off or turn on the alert that we are in the alert set. Okay. And if the customer can create new alerts using the platform, because we need to keep in mind that we are in a security application that is working on a platform, on a big data platform, and you can create more intelligence using all the information that you have in the platform. So, for example, if you want to create an alert related with another source, another data source that we are not integrated by default in the application, you can create your alert and put this alert, just putting a correct name in the alert using a nomenclature, okay, and you can see this alert, this thread that you are creating in the platform here in the application. So imagine that you are more comfortable using another source because you have another information feed that is monitoring your network. You can just put in the platform and use all the alerts that you can create with this information here in the security inside the application.
Mm-hmm. It is very important that you can make your own alerts, put your own priority, and only have to modify one file. And when you modify that file, you can see integrated into the application. It is very flexible because the alerts are very important part of the application, but in the other hand, they are a little bit separated. So we allow the customer to perform alerts with a new data sources or whatever they want. Next is common evolution of the alerts or threats and anonymous traffic in the last year. Next up is threats that we also show trends regarding to the last day, week, and month, and we separate here threats in malware and fraud.
This is the threats, the security feed that Pedro talked before. Okay, yes, we are using just open source intelligence because this is an application that we show to the customers, but the idea is that the application is prepared to get another type of feeds. Imagine that you are paying, you have a partner that have any kind of security feed. You can integrate this security feed just to check this, to do this correlation here in the application, and the chain is too easy for us, and you can even use both feeds of security intelligence. Right now, we have also partnered with another companies that are creating security feeds, threat intelligence feeds, and we can also start using these security feeds if the customer wants. Okay, here's just information about the threat, fraud, and malware, because our open source intelligence are just split in these two categories, main categories, malware and fraud. And in each category, you can show any kind of the threat, the internal threat that we are managed. For example, you can focus your investigation on phishing. So you can show just the trend of your phishing hits in your network, or even if you have any kind of incident, you can show all the connection that you are doing to IPs related, for example, with all the malwares that are not related with phishing and false ads, or all the unknown, and you can see the trendy for this kind of malware, okay, in your network. And in the other side, we have some information about how the fraud and the threat IPs, the malware IPs, are attacking your organization. So here's the incoming threat. The incoming threat are all the connections from IPs that we have marked as a threat. Okay, and you can see, for example, the information is the same here in the map, here in the Voronoi, and in the graph. The idea is that you can show the information whatever you want. For example, if you are looking to show where is the country that has more hits. Okay, you can see the map. So if you can see, for example, the ISP that is making this connection, you can navigate with the Voronoi, or even if you want to see what kind of IPs are connecting to your server. Sorry, my fault. Here you can select your internal IP and make a filter. This is just to navigate using the graph capability. Okay, and even you can make this kind of filter. Okay, and these two tabs are the main tabs that we are creating in the security application, because with this information you can show mainly the most important information related to the threats in your network. Okay, but what if you want to say what's happening with your DNS, what's happening with your proxy connection, what's happening with your firewalls or with your web, or even if you have an IDS in your network, so the information that this IDS is sending to the platform, because we can connect, of course, with any kind of platform that it's generating information. Okay, so maybe imagine that you want to see your network topology based on the information that we have from your firewall logs. You can show in a view just all the connection that your internal network here in the top of the graph is making to the world. Okay, this is a typical network topology based on the private IPs and public IPs. Okay, but imagine that your customer is
using the list of suspicious ports or ports that we have to take care of that is configurable. This is kind of ports.
Okay, the idea is if you can see all the IPs, all the ports that are using in the network, or you can see just port related, for example, with management or related with the DNS, because just you can make here a simple filter and show all the connections that are using the port from the DNS port. Okay, and imagine that we are looking to know more about the DNS. We can go to this tab and show the information related with the connection that are connected with the DNS. Okay. Okay. Let me change the application, because this is the application that we are released the next week, and it's better performance and have major change in the responsive, so we can show better information. Okay, so here in the DNS tab, we are looking for the information related with the DNS, obviously, and the idea is that we have some use case related with the connection from the internal IPs. Here are the internal IPs. The problem is these logs come from this is an anonymous logs, and we have a huge information in the database. So the IPs that are connecting with the internal DNS here in the center are a lot, and we can show the IP. But here is just a simple query, a simple correlation. We are showing here all the connection in the left from internal IPs to internal IPs using the DNS port 53. Okay, and then we are showing that this internal DNS or this internal IPs
supposedly
that maybe should be or could be DNS servers are making a connection to the external DNS. Okay, this is for example, this DNS. I don't know if this is from the Google DNS.
Yeah, there is a Google authoritative and also roots.
Okay, this is just trying to detect all the DNS servers in your network that are used as cache DNS. Okay, and the idea is that you need to compare all these IPs to your records related with DNS. In this case, when we start this in a POC, the customer just checking if all the IPs are DNS or not. Okay, if not, you need to disable these services because this is not that good for your company. Okay.
And on the other hand, we can check the behavior of the DNS if these DNS, for instance, are serving correctly the names or not. And this is very important use case because we are using. Remind that we are using in all the moment. We are using firewall logs. We are not using DNS. And why we are not using DNS to show DNS information? Because it is not common to share when we're making the POCs or we talk with customers. It is not common to share DNS information, but it is much common to share firewall information. So for us, that we are looking for offer a generic application, we are not. We could show DNS, a very complete DNS dashboard based on the DNS information, but if the customer don't share DNS information, it doesn't run. So for us, it's better to show firewall and adding the correlation functionalities of Devo and also the aggregation functionalities of Devo, we could extract a very, very valuable information related to DNS only using firewall logs. Okay,
because we have not much time to show all the use case. Just let me show some functionalities and show another tabs. Okay, the main functionality that we are creating in each tab in the application is the time travel. The time travel is just a functionality to show your information in the past. Okay, when you start the time travel, you can use this hit calendar just to navigate along the time and showing the information. For example, this day. Okay, and we can show the information this day. This is important because we can show in the same way that we are showing the information for today. We can show the information for every day in the past during the whole year. Okay, and the response time is the same.
It is the same.
That the information, if the information is from today.
This is very important because we are not only responding very fast. The ingestion and recollection of data in Devo is really very fast. Even we are talking about data from today or data from the last month of the last year, but we are using a data source that it is pre-calculate data. So it is faster, even faster, using these data sources to get the data from a year ago. Okay, so let me show for example, the firewall report. The firewall report is just a report with information from the firewall logs, obviously. And the idea is that we are just getting all the information from the firewall logs, just to put in a simple way to show something like
imagine you can show the firewall that is applying more rules. Okay, for example, this firewall is applying more rules than the other one in the network. Okay, you can see the firewall rules more used. Okay, obviously this is not a threat. This is just information for the operator. This is just information from the guys showing the firewall or the guys from IT. Okay, or this is just to check if something is changing in the behavior of your firewall. Okay, imagine that a firewall is not applying the rules. This is the most important firewall in your organization. This is not a good behavior in your network. Okay, you can see all the IPs rejected last day. Okay, this is important because all the IPs rejected is because some of your rules are applied, okay, and all the rejected must be monitored. Okay, and the other data source that we are using is the web. Okay, so here we have, in the same way that the firewall, we have information from the web, and just we are trying to monitor what is going on with our server.
In this case, it's Apache server. That is our own server, Devo server. But in the other, if you have Blue Code or whatever, it will run exactly the same. In the firewalls, we are using Juniper and we are using ForcePoint, but it is the same if you want to use a different one. This is like a firewall report that in the web. We offer a web report, basic information about the accesses in your network. The first one is the main control of access by country, city, and ISP.
One of the things that you can do is to change the bottleneck. In this case, we change the bottleneck, and we need to wait a lot because all the information that we have here is real, and the kind of the quantity of ISPs that are trying to access our web is a huge amount, and you can show the quick as the platform is going is telling us all the information in this kind of queries.
Next is to show the 400 heroes. That is very important to show. If there's a 404 is the most common, we can check and uncheck to see the rest. And we can check, another thing is we can check the user agent and obtain information about the user agent. For instance, we can check all the traffic that the bots are sending to our web. We can check here, and we can see that the Google and Bing are the most common bots, and we can see here comparing the bot traffic with the rest of the traffic. There is a smartphone, and we can check also the operating systems. We can relate it to the devices using the user agent. Here, there is a different part that is a little bit close to the threads, that we see the reputation of the incoming IPs. We use also feeds of.
Yes, here is just we are using a skid reputation. This is just to compare with another feed or the other feed that we are putting in the platform, because this kind of feeds are more related with the navigation, okay, more than the others that are related with the fraud and malware and I don't know, the botnets. This kind of feeds are from Squid, and the information is more related with the reputation based on the for the filtering in your web server. Okay, and in the next widget, we have information related to the anonymous traffic, because it's important to monitor the quantity of information, the quantity of hits to your web server that are coming from the proxy, anonymous proxy. Okay, we are not talking about only from Tor or I2P. We are talking about any kind of anonymous proxy, or VPN anonymous, and so on, okay? And the idea is to show the evolution of the anonymous traffic and the top of URLs that are trying to access in your web server, okay?
This is a little comment. That is very important because we are checking here the incoming anonymous traffic that maybe for administration of the web server, it could be very interesting to see how many anonymous traffic is entering our web, and if this anonymous traffic is entering in concrete places, like to do the login or whatever. This is the incoming anonymous traffic, but we can show also, we show here that the outgoing anonymous traffic that is out. The people of our network is going to the public IPs using an anonymous traffic. The combination of these two, this is detected by the firewall, and the other one is detected by the web server. It is very important to combine the two things because maybe for the firewall administration or for the network administration, it is important to see if there are people in our network that are using Tor Navigator to get public IPs. Maybe these public IPs are malware or whatever. Last one, ideas.
The ideas.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, just to finish the demo, just to show the IDS tab. This is just a concentrate from the Suricata and Bro IDS that we have in the Madrid, Spain office, okay? And this is just to show all the information from these tools here in the platform. And obviously correlate with all your information that we are getting from the logs, okay? The idea is that you have here some widgets to show the most important information from this kind of tools, okay? You can show the trend of the alerts. You can show the alerts that are applying in the IDS, okay?
By priority.
Okay, and obviously Devo has the same, or maybe some kind of widget related with information from this IDS. Okay, just a point to show in this demo is because we are working in the platform, okay? This is a real environment. This is the production environment. We are just information here in this tenant, okay? We have a lot of events sending to the tenant every day. It's the same data every day, but we are sending because this is the only way to show a live demo to the customers. And obviously, if you want, you can request an access to this, this environment to show the application and to interact with the application. And even if you have any feedback to us, you can show you can send the feedback to Pedro or to us, and we can obviously take in your bags.
Yeah, and this is the last thing to show is the list of alerts that we have performed for the version 1.0, that is the version currently in production. There are like 14 alerts that it is very easy to perform, and we are planning like a lot of more alerts in different priorities for the next releases.
You can show how you can edit.
Yeah, you can edit here, for instance, this alert to see that is very easy to perform an alert. An alert for us is like an event that accomplishes a sort of filters. In this case, we are checking the access. We use this this language that is close to SQL, like is called LinkQ. It is more or less the same, but we have added a lot of functionalities regarding to the platform. In this case, we are checking only the information of port 53, that is DNS port, that is DNS, and we check the destination IPs of this traffic 53, and this destination IPs is more than 20 different IPs. We throw an alert and we say, okay, this IP is accessing to 20 different IPs with traffic 53. That this could be more than 20 DNS servers or more than 20 IPs using the 53 port. That is, this could be a bad thing.
Imagine that a customer think that 20 is not a good number to check. So the customer can go to the query and change the query, obviously, because the information that the alert is creating over the platform, and then you can change the alert, and the platform is change the alert, and the application, the security application, is applying all the alerts that the customer has.
Just because the application want to be a generic application, but mainly the alerts definition had to be customized for each customer, depending on the traffic, depending on the way the administration do it. If the administration think that 20 is too high and you need to change to 10, you only have to change here and update, and you have a new alert created for you, only for you.
Yes, this is what we were commenting about customizing. If you are providing services to several customers, and you can customize the solution that you are giving for each customer, so that everyone has different needs, and of course you have to customize. Okay, so I don't know if there is anything more to show in the application. Maybe we can start the Q&A session. Simona, can you tell us if there are questions to answer?
Sure, but firstly I would like to give you a special thanks for this interesting presentation. And actually we received a couple of questions. So shall we move to question part, right? Pedro?
Yes.
Yeah. So the first question is about IP address and data. So one of our attendees is wondering if we import some data that only has IP address of user machine, can we assign username to it? Is it done automatically?
The username?
Yes. Can we assign username to it?
Okay, you can correlate the information from the log where you have the IP, and using the lookups. This is a functionality in the platform. You can correlate with your username database. Okay, so if you put the username database in the platform, you can correlate and change the IP to the username based on the information that you are managing your company.
Very, very easy. Very easy to do it.
Yeah, it seems so. And we also have one more. What is the server architecture and where is it deployed?
The server architecture?
Yes.
Well, this product is run from the cloud. So this is a SaaS product. So you don't have to worry about servers, because servers are not deployed at the customer site. Okay, so this is a pure cloud security solution, which makes it very simple to deploy in as many customers as you want.
All right, I think that is clear. One more. What type of log files does Security Insight accept?
Well, all the technologies related to firewall that are integrated in Devo. That for the moment, I think I like 40 different kind of firewalls are integrated. And if this firewall is in the list of firewalls integrated in Devo, automatically will be integrated on this application. In the case of there is a firewall that is not integrated on Devo, a new firewall, for instance, Devo will do it immediately because we are interested in integrate all the technology. So you don't have to do anything. If there is a new technology, we do it in a couple of hours or 3 hours. And there's a firewall, web, and IDS. In IDS are Bro and Suricata.
You can see here the different firewall technologies that are supported currently. So that includes, I would say, every one, but you can always find a new firewall or a new web server or whatever. But we currently are supporting more than 300 different technologies. So, the list is wide enough, and as you can see here.
Here in the documentation, we have all the information, all the source that we have parsed. Obviously, if you have any kind of technology that is a standard technology, we include this in the platform. And if you have a proprietary technology, we need to show with the customer how can we integrate in the platform.
Any of text log is integrated automatically in Devo. Even if we don't know about the contents of the log, we show it and we can display it in a few minutes and make it as a table.
Well, I think that is very informative. Actually have one more, this time about licensing. How is security and science licensed, by user or by device or by both?
Okay, the license depends on volume of data ingested per day and the retention period that the customer wants to have that information. So it can be, for instance, 10 gigabytes per day, 1 year retention time. That is our matrix, and the price depends on those two variables. So it's very simple. So it doesn't depend on anything else. It doesn't depend on the number of users you want to access the security insights or the amount of queries you launch. So you can be let's say, doing everything you want, and the price is depending only on the volume and retention time.
Okay, and the last one. I received this to my mailbox, and one of attendees wondering, can I feed information from other sources via system log or other protocols and have it available to trigger alarms?
Yes, there are no problem to get information from any kind of imagine that you have, for example, a database. You can send the information from the database in a real time, or you can send the information from the database in a batch processing. We have no limits to get information from any kind of source.
But it's important that we are using the technologies of firewall and web or the IDS to be integrated on the application. So you want to show things about DNS or proxy or firewall or web, and you need to use these sources. But if you want to use your own sources, and you can throw and confirm and perform alerts that we will show in this dashboard, but you don't see any information, any additional information about these sources in the dashboards. Now, I don't know if it is clear. You can make your own alerts, but you need information on Firewall and Web to see the dashboard.
Yes, for instance, we don't have a tab here about antivirus.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
So you can send information from the antivirus solutions that the customer is running, and this information will be available to define new alerts. Okay, so you will have the new alerts here, and you would be able to play with that information from the antivirus. The only thing that you won't have is a tab here showing antivirus information in the form of dashboards. Okay, but you will be able to play with that information to define alerts and of course to trigger events, interesting events for the security.
And of course, you can make a different application to see the information about your antivirus, or make even in a dashboard here to make different, like it is like information completely separated of the application security insights, but integrated on Devo, for sure.
Pedro?
Yes.
Do you have anything to add, or that was everything?
No, I think it's, I think that's it. As we have said, we are available for any additional things you have to comment. You can do it through Hermitage, of course, which is the preferred way, and we are available for any project that you can bring to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Thank you again for everyone for joining, and we really appreciate your continued cooperation toward working with us. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Miguel. Thank you, Francisca, and thank you everyone for joining. Have a nice afternoon.